From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Anchorage police are investigating a fatal shooting in the area of Tudor Road and Minnesota Drive.
A report of shots fired came in at about 12:30 a.m. on Monday. That's according to Sergeant Eric Smith with the Anchorage Police Department. 2 people have been confirmed dead as a result of the shooting, according to a release from APD. Police responded to the area of Tudor Road and Lois Drive and also shut down a portion of Lois for several hours. Police at the scene said there is no threat to public safety at this time and would not give details on possible suspect information. APD said the investigation is still in the early stages. APD's crime scene team was at the scene processing evidence in the early morning hours, and APD's homicide unit was conducting witness interviews.
Today marks the shortest day of the year, which means we will begin gaining time back once again. Sunlight, that is. Unfortunately, it also signals that we are moving into our coldest months of the year, and right on course, Mother Nature will be opening the freezer door beginning tomorrow night. However, the good news is that even though temperatures will fall to near 40 below Christmas Eve and Christmas night, warmer weather will arrive back in the interior by the first part of next week.
Well, a cold front up north is going to move south over the interior on Tuesday, and the cold air behind it will help drop temperatures on Thursday and Friday into the 30 to 40 below range. But the cold blast will not last too long. A large storm will be moving into the central and northern Bering and probably temper effects of the cold air mass over us by the time we get fully into the weekend, that is Saturday and Sunday.
The Joel's Place Skate Park and Youth Center on America Street closed this past Saturday. Monty Bowen has the story.
The time I've been here, I mean, it's been like my home, but now it's like being torn down soon, or like being sold.
We are having our last day at Joel's Place today.
Young people have been going to Joel's Place to hang out, skateboard, and socialize for a long time. That came to an end this past weekend.
We've been in the community for 15 years, and it's been a pleasure to serve the kids here.
The problem was the facility and finances.
The board of directors had decided that this building is no longer a feasible location. It's an incredible amount of overhead, and the location doesn't seem to be very visible.
Isaiah Potts said he's been coming to Joel's Place for about 2 years and learned of the pending closure from a message on social media.
I got sad and angry at the same time because this is, you know, one of my #1 places to go, and it's gonna be gone soon.
They are hoping to be able to move on to something that will serve a lot more kids in the community.
We are wide open to suggestions. We're sort of dreaming about different buildings closer to the downtown core, closer to the library, been scoping out real estate. Also just looking at partnering with different nonprofits or youth ministries. Any way to invest in the Fairbanks youth community. We just want to continue to be able to invest in them for years to come.
The Youth Center will offer a final open house, a celebration of Joel's Place, past, present, and future, from 2 to 8 p.m. on January 8th. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
Winter solstice is today. However, local Fairbanksans celebrated the shortest day of the year earlier this past weekend. The Downtown Association of Fairbanks put on the Alyeska Pipeline Celebration of Lights fireworks event on Saturday. Hundreds of people lined up along the Chena River to witness the show. The fireworks lasted about 15 minutes. Many people said the display was held at the perfect time for honoring the return of daylight to the interior.
For such a small show and for such a small event, it turned out to be really great.
It was a great show. We're lucky to have something like that put on in the middle of winter on one of those shortest days of the year for us to just come out and enjoy.
I enjoyed it. I came to record myself. That was awesome. Pretty cool.
Well, for those individuals that missed a good show. They should have been here.
And it was warm for that display, so that was good. Not like what's going to be coming up here soon. And speaking of that, we will return in just a few minutes with more news.
And don't forget about weather and sports, so those stories with Joe and Mike Schultz will be next.
And welcome back. The University of Alaska Fairbanks Museum of the North and Kendall Auto of Fairbanks donated gifts collected from the community to the United Way of the Tanana Valley today. The nonprofit is giving toys away to those in need during the holidays. The donations will go to benefit United Way member agencies such as the Salvation Army, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Alaska, the Fairbanks Resource Agency, and 18 other agencies in the interior. Today, volunteers from Kendall Auto transported gifts from the museum to those agencies. United Way Executive Director Bill Wright says they collected dozens of toys that will go to cheer up families on Christmas.
University of Alaska Museum of the North and Kendall Auto came to us a few weeks ago and said, we want to be able to do this for the community. And we agreed that this is a great way to give back and that we would gladly be a clearinghouse for being able to present these gifts to different folks within the community, local families that are very much in need.
Since the end of November until this past weekend, Walmart has had a large decorated box inviting customers to donate toys and deposit them in the oversized box. It was all part of the annual toy drive to solicit toys for kids in the community. Today at the United Way offices, the results of the toy drive were evident, with the stacks and stacks of toys, games, stuffed animals, and other fun things donated piled along the walls. The next step in the process was for representatives of the 21 agencies that make up the United Way to choose items to distribute to needy children. Now, those associated with the toy drive spoke today, saying how much the spirit of the season drove the toy drive.
Yeah, we had another amazing response this year. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. I mean, the Golden Heart community yet again delivered, and this is why we all live here. Big thanks to Walmart, KTVF for getting the message out there, and then United Way for really delivering all these gifts to families in need. It's really been just an amazing toy drive.
What we do is over the next couple of days we'll have our United Way agencies come in and shop, just like this is a showroom, and they'll pick out the toys that best fit their clients' needs, and they'll be hand delivering them directly to people who need the gifts this year.
A big thank you goes out to Mark and all the kids at Tanana Middle School for the incredible amount of toys that they donated to this year's toy drive.
The Christmas Adopt a Family Project delivered gifts and sang Christmas carols to needy families this weekend. The Adopt a Family was developed by Love Inc. to enable groups, businesses, and churches to help families in need. Low-income households are nominated by the school district and other agencies in the Tanana Valley, but no one can request help for themselves. Families that are accepted into the program make a list of their children's wants and wishes for Christmas as well as household needs. The program is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a family, and once served, they can no longer be eligible in the future. Love Inc. also works closely with other agencies like the Salvation Army to make sure each family is only on one list. This year, there were 78 sponsors who served 103 families and 94 children living in groups homes around the interior.
A lot of times you know that needs exist. This is actually a time when we get to do something about a need, where it's actually brought to us and we can respond. Instead of knowing it's out there, it becomes an in here kind of thing. And the family that we're adopting is right in our neighborhood that we never would have known they needed anything, if not for Love Inc.
All right, Joe Cook is up next with sports, but he has some melancholy news for the UAF athletics department right before the holidays.
And Joe will have the details on that, plus state wrestling results and the I-5 after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here with this Monday night, the weekend recap in local sports. But first, some unfortunate UAF news right before the Christmas holiday. The NCAA put a big chunk of coal in the Lennox stockings, to say the least. Today, the NCAA denies UAF's appeal of postseason bans for swimming and women's basketball. To jog your memory a bit, the NCAA handed down sanctions last November for eligibility infractions committed from 2007 through 2012 that involved 40 student athletes in 9 different sports. UAF self-reported the infractions in 2011 and 2012 and had self-imposed sanctions. The NCAA banned postseason play for UAF hockey and men's basketball last year. Those sports took that postseason ban, while swimming and women's basketball appealed. Despite a similar case at a school in New Mexico who didn't receive postseason bans, there will be no postseason play for UAF swimming or women's basketball this season. The swim team's final meet of the season will be the Husky Invitational on January 22nd in Seattle, Washington. The women's basketball team's last game will be against the Western Washington Vikings on Alaska Airlines Court on February 27th. Fairbanks Ice Dogs will definitely be happy over the holidays. They finished the calendar year with a pair of road wins. Friday night, Fairbanks defeated the New Jersey Titans 3-1. Saturday night, the Ice Dogs prevailed 2-1 and sweep the series in a matchup of division leaders. It was 1-1 after the first period, and the second period went scoreless. But Reggie Lutz scored the game winner for the Ice Dogs with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. Gavin Naedo made 28 crucial saves in the win. The Ice Dogs go into the Christmas break with a 23-4-3 record, tying them for the best overall record in the NAHL. Wichita Falls and Fairbanks both lead the league with 49 points. Speaking of Nieto, the Fairbanks netminder, he is the Midwest Star of the Week. The 19-year-old goalie out of Yorba Linda, California, allowed just 2 goals to lead the series sweep of the East Division leading New Jersey Titans. Nieto made 50 saves on 52 shots. He had 22 saves in Game 1 and 28 in Game 2. His record is now 16-3-1. Those 16 wins are tied for the best in the NAHL. His 1.74 goal allowed average is the league best. To add to his success on the ice, Naedo committed to Brown University today. We'll have more on that in Tuesday's Sportscast. On Saturday night, state wrestling champions were crowned. 6 interior wrestlers came back with gold medals, but 1 girl made history. The first ever all-section 1 through 4A girls state tournament, Kaylee Folks won gold for the North Pole Patriots. She's the first female state wrestling champion in North Pole program history. Before this season, girls were wrestling boys. The first girl to ever win a state title was Skyview's Michaela Hutchison. That was back in 2006. North Pole did have some girls wrestle in national girls tournaments back in the 90s, but Folks is the first to win. Folks, the Mid-Alaska Conference 106-pound champion, finished with a 2-1 record after a first-round bye in the double elimination state tournament. She avenged her only loss by defeating Homer's Jazita Martin in a 5-1 decision in the 106-pound title match. 3 Lathrop Malamutes won gold in their respective classes as well. Micah E. is the 98-pound state champion. Jacob Spencer won the 106-pound title, and Josh Miller won the 220-pound title for Lathrop. Dew Rogers of North Pole repeats as a state champion. Last year, he won the 138-pound title. On Saturday, he won the 145-pound title. And went through 3A, Glen Allen's Joseph White is the 182-pound state champion. South won the 4A team title, while Lathrop earned 3rd place to lead interior programs. And we end Monday's Sportscast with the last I-5, the interior top 5 plays of 2015. It's an exciting high school basketball edition.
We start with play number 5. Ryan Brantley of Monroe goes with the hop step for the layup in Monroe's 69-41 season opening win over North Pole on Friday night. Number 4, the Allison girls turn defense into offense. The steal by Riley Hughes leads to a Lexi Smith and 1, but the Ravens fall to Monroe 39-49 on Saturday night. Play number 3, West Valley's Daniel Hornbuckle hits the tray to beat the first half buzzer. He had 22 points, and so did Hutch at the half. Hornbuckle has a game-high 34 points in a 92-38 win over Hutchison on Saturday. At number 2, the Delta Junction Huskies shocked Lathrop on Saturday night thanks to a Gene Gonzalez go-ahead and 1 play in overtime. Huge play for the Huskies. More from this game in the number 1 play. It was an endowment game, but at number 1, Delta was down 4 until Raul Riviera hits a deep 3 for the Huskies with 11 seconds left to help force overtime. The Huskies upset Lathrop on Saturday night, 67-65 in OT. To vote for the play of the week, click on your favorite play on the I-5 poll on webcenter11.com. You can also comment on the KTVF Facebook and YouTube post and at KTVF11 Sports on Twitter for your vote. The play of the week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And we'll have a full recap of the opening weekend of high school hoops in tomorrow's Sportscast. But that's it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast. And as always, we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Mike Schultz once again talking about the weather. Hope you had yourself a good weekend. Temperatures were very comfortable actually, but boy, they're going to get a lot worse as you saw in that report earlier. So get ready, get your car ready, get your dogs and cats ready, and get yourself ready for some very cold temperatures. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Our photograph night. This is a nice one sent in by Bill Blizzard and colorful Christmas trees. You can see here a beautiful array of colors and with the season. And as always, if you have a photograph that you want to share, well, please send it to us at photos at KTVF11.com, and we'll share the colors with the audience. Okay. Once again, a reminder that we do have some fab photo calendars out there too at Big Daddy's Barbecue, the ice fog vapors, and also Personnel Plus. So keep that in mind. 4 degrees currently. Our high today was 8 degrees. The low last night, 13 below. The record high, 41, 1985. Record low, 49 below in 1961. Sunrise and sunset, 2 hours and 41 minutes. That means we lost 15 seconds from yesterday. Tomorrow, we start gaining time back again. That's worth celebrating. Here's your map across the state. As you can see, once again, we have a little bit of activity moving across the Prince William Sound area, also over southeast Alaska. Another frontal boundary coming in from the southwest, but what we're to keep an eye on is all the cold air dropping down from the north, the very far north, bringing that big chill with it. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, over southeast Alaska, Juneau's reporting some mixed rain and snow there, and some showers around the Ketchikan area. Also, snow shower activity around the Anchorage Bowl, 13 degrees. Kodiak, partly cloudy, 26. Cold Bay, 31 and cloudy. Up and down the west coast, temperatures in the teens. That's pretty nice. 15 below at Barrow, and at Fort Yukon, 5 above with cloudy skies. Lower 48 weather, a lot of activity going on. First of all, some very powerful storms moving across the southeast, bringing with them heavy rain, thunderstorms, even some possible tornado activity. And then more cold air moving in across the Pacific Northwest. That is bringing with it a lot of wild weather. And once again, you can see here, looking at very, very heavy wet conditions up and down from the, Seattle Sound area, the Puget Sound area, right on down to Northern California. Heavy rain, wind, and very heavy snow in the higher elevations, and that's something they need for the drought. Now, as far as the overall forecast later on this week, the jet stream, once again, still remaining out to the west, taking a big dive, pulling that cold air in behind it. Just the opposite, the warm temperatures moving across the northeast. Again, a very dry and snowless winter for a lot of folks over the eastern half of the country. That's going to continue. Time once again for our weather fact for tonight, and our weather fact was in 1998. San Joaquin Valley, California had 4 straight nights of 20-degree temperatures or colder, with $600 million in damage to the citrus crop there. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. And once again, a reminder, the kids are off on vacation until they return the 5th of January. And then we'll be welcoming the kids from Salsha Elementary School back for kids' weather. Forecast for tomorrow. For the northern sections, cloudy skies with flurries at Barrow and Fort Yukon. Mostly cloudy skies for Nome. Over the interior, we're looking at, for the most part, cloudy skies and flurries region-wide with falling temperatures. Tomorrow's forecast for southeast Alaska looks like mixed showers for Juneau, showers for Ketchikan, while over to the southwest part of the state, snow showers at Cold Bay, scattered clouds for Kodiak, and cloudy skies in Bethel. And down over the south central regions, mostly cloudy skies in Anchorage, partly cloudy at Homer, and snow showers for Valdez. In our forecast for the remainder of the night, again, looking at cold temperatures, mostly cloudy, a little cooler than it was last night, 7 below. Tomorrow's forecast, as you can see here, again, looking at a little bit of flurry possibly, and 0 degrees, but here comes the bad news. The overnight lows dropping down to 30 to 40 below right on through Christmas Day. Daytime highs will be in the teens to 20s below during the daytime, and maybe some flurry activity up to Wednesday, and that's it. After that, Santa Claus is going to be putting on an extra coat this year, I think.
And to think I was gonna go skiing
Don't think so.
For my birthday.
You'll freeze in mid-air if you do that.
Did anything really change over the weekend? Well, obviously it did to change the forecast, but we were saying on Friday that it looked like it was going to be not as cold. So.
Well, it still looks like by the weekend that things will start turning around, but unfortunately for Christmas Eve and for Friday for Christmas Day, it does not look real warm at all.
So kids, Santa needs extra cookies and milk to keep warm.
Yeah, and everything else.
Some hot chocolate and some more stuff.
Thermal wrap.
Just looking at it.
Thermal
some
wrap.
hand warmers.
Yeah.
Joe does not like the
Long
cold.
Johns, the whole starter pack. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that, Joe. All right, thank you, Mike. That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Well, tonight on NBC Nightly News, police are saying a deadly Las Vegas Strip crash was no accident. That's coming up next with Lester Holt.
And as always, you can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
All right, from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a good night.